It's over. The Devil Inside series is finally ending. And it's been quite a while. And quite an adventure. So, yeah. I started this series back in 2017, I believe. Inspired by the pretty popular McJuggerNuggets series, The Devil Inside. Hence why I'm wearing a McJuggerNuggets t-shirt right now. Yeah, so I'm pretty much gonna go over everything, why I've decided to essentially stop this series here, halt it, and sort of see this place as a natural end to this series, which has been going on now for, well, if I started in 2017, that's like 2018, 2019, 2020, 21, 22, 23, 24. I mean, we're looking at literally about 7 years of content that I've produced as this completely scripted and fictional series, and obviously portrayed it as a it's pretty reality. Now, I'm gonna say it was pretty obvious in a lot of points that this was a series, and obviously I put it into a separate sort of playlist called The Real Life of Dan B. Whitey Official. Shortly that will be changed to the Devil Inside series, and that is where I sort of draw the close on that and sort of put everything into one series that you guys can look back on. And because this series has been going on so long, I definitely want to cover in this video like everything that I possibly can from the start of this series through everywhere. And first of all, I'd like to say I'm not going to do a full in-depth video on the last 7 years of this particular series, because, well, we'd be here for literally hours, and there's so much to say. I feel like I want to make this sort of big retrospective video, maybe like a 2 hour, I don't even know how long it'd be really, maybe an hour, 2 hours or something, where we literally sit down and go over literally everything that has sort of happened throughout this series, and yeah, just sort of talk about the entire journey as its whole chronological journey, I suppose. But yeah, to sort of set it straight to you guys, obviously a lot of the series itself would revolve around this necklace right here. We had loads and loads of different eras of this series as well, which was pretty insane. Some big videos as well that came out of this series that I realistically didn't expect. I mean, I didn't really expect to do it this long. I was going to literally end up quitting this series, going back the last couple of years, possibly, you know, back in like 2021, I was pretty much planning on quitting this series, but I thought that realistically I needed to tell more of the story to, you know, actually close it out. And the story really isn't over because, well, I still have so much ideas and things, but I feel like this is where this chapter should naturally close. So, back in 2017, I made my own documentary kind of thing. Well, it wasn't really a documentary, but it was in fact a long form piece of content that was about an hour in length called The Devil Inside Documentary. Obviously this entire thing was scripted, and it's pretty obvious that a lot of the stuff was scripted. I mean, I made a Psycho Series 1 just before that, and continued that sort of with the Devil Inside one. And at the time, I just thought, you know, it's a series that I really, really enjoyed. Again, I said I was a huge fan of McJuggerNuggets back in that time. I still do enjoy his content now, and I still do obviously watch his content and all that kind of stuff right now. but back in that sort of time, it was something like I used to literally watch his Psycho series videos, and I'd literally watch he did double daily uploads, one of the only YouTubers to upload twice a day, every single day, and I'd obviously get home from school and just would end up watching both of them vlogs every single day. And you know, I've got to say that McJuggernuggets, along with a load of other different YouTubers who you will have seen references to on this channel, definitely crafted me into the YouTuber I am today. And it didn't feel right to make this series and this whole video without giving credit and acknowledging the work of McJuggernuggets, who was the #1 inspiration for this entire thing. So yeah, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to McJuggernuggets, and yeah, huge thank you for making your videos and all that kind of stuff to inspire, I suppose, this collection of videos. So after that, I carried on with the Devil Inside videos, and at this point it really wasn't a lot of real life content. I did a lot of cinematic based stuff, and that was with a load of other videos and stuff like that, you know, most notably the Mirror Man sort of playoff videos and stuff like that. Music was edited over it, all that kind of stuff. That went past. I also, after this time, made my My Virtual Escape parody series, which is available right now on my channel still, and you can actually go ahead and watch it right now. It's actually on my channel. All of the 30 episodes, I believe I did. 25 episodes, I believe. 25, the full episodes that are on YouTube right now. There's a playlist, you can go ahead and watch it and all that. That was my first piece of like cinematic content, which then eventually inspired my first ever film, Bruises, which was an insane experience to me in itself. But again, that's for another video. I can't really digress into that right now. But yeah, that all passed. I carried on making them Devil Inside videos, but not really as often. And then something happened in 2020 that really sparked me to create these videos again. I mean, I used to make the odd video and all that there and back, but it really wasn't a lot of these videos. I just dot them around amongst my other content. But when they actually started forming a genuine part of the videos is when my friend Luke he basically started driving, and we actually ended up shooting some vlogs, and that's kind of when I started deciding, oh, maybe I can put these style of vlogs into the Devil Inside. So obviously we shot a load of vlogs, and I mean over then it's been loose. We've had holiday vlogs which are part of the series. We've had loads of stuff, anything really with this particular necklace involved, and I've taken it so many different places. Like, we've been on a few holidays over the years, and I've taken this literally everywhere that was needed in the sort of videos and stuff. So that is kind of the symbol in which you can sort of tell when it's like a Devil Inside video. But yeah, all that happened. We were on the vlog sort of train at that point, and obviously lockdowns all hit and all that kind of stuff, and I started up a separate vlog series. And then we decided, you know what, let's go into this, let's try some pranks. And one particular prank that actually did very well is the heart attack prank, which I believe has over 10,000 views, maybe 11,000 views now. It was literally the biggest video on my YouTube channel for quite a bit of time, and that's actually pretty cool that one of the videos did actually semi-blow up a bit and get some kind of viewership on this channel. And yeah, the views on the videos did definitely fluctuate over time. I mean, I had some peaks and some dips, and that is just kind of the nature of running a long-term YouTube series which spanned over 6, maybe even 7 years. But yeah, moving on, a lot of this time was just spent on a lot of different kinds of videos, like I suppose you could say, really mainly vlog-based. And we just carried on doing out the vlogs and mixed in a load of pranks. And obviously the pranks were fake. We didn't actually do any particular real pranks and stuff. And there's actually cases where I did some of these pranks and even some of these like psycho videos back over the last couple of years. And I'd always sort of climax it. So I'd have vlogs and stuff, and they'd always climax at this, like a psycho video where a freak out kind of thing would happen. Something would get broken, usually more often than not, and then obviously we'd have vlogs to follow it up and continue the storyline through the vlogs. But yeah, that is definitely the time when I was fully portraying this as a reality kind of thing, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people did sort of clock on at that point that these videos were, you know, at least somewhat staged. But yeah, so we did all that prank series. Some people did actually think they were real, and there is comments on some of the videos to this day where people actually like believed it. And I may even do a video where I cover some of them comments, because they're actually kind of interesting to look back on in retrospect, because I've seen other YouTubers like Juggernuggets and a lot of other YouTubers who have faked videos, faked pranks, faked everything really. I mean, even some of the bigger YouTubers on the platform have, you know, faked content. It's pretty well known that, you know, a lot of YouTubers have done this before, but I didn't understand how easy it was to sort of create this narrative and people would actually follow along, which in some ways was actually pretty good, because it means that people were actually like invested in the videos, which is always a good thing. And yeah, so we continue with the pranks and all that kind of stuff. We did a few different other sort of mini parts and stuff, like for example there's one part where I sort of was kicked out sort of thing, and that sort of went on its own spiral a little bit. We sort of did this like little house hunting sort of you know, like sort of like part in the series, and then obviously it led back to here, and it would always sort of, there was a couple of times where that kind of thing happened, and it would always kind of be like, oh, I'd go out a couple of weeks later, I'd end up straight back in this position again, which is kind of funny and kind of ironic as well. And for a lot of this stuff, I do actually have full, well, I'm going to go on to that in a little bit, so you want to stick around in this video, because I've got some pretty big announcements coming up very, very soon. So, yeah. Anyway, continuing the story, we did a load more of them kinds of videos. We did more vlogs, more pranks. I upped it. I did a second prank war, I believe, as well with my girlfriend, where we did a load of pranks. They actually did pretty decently view-wise, I'm not gonna lie. I did actually... And we sort of noticed this too, like some of the things that did better and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, overall I really, really enjoyed making this series. It was a different type of feeling, I suppose, from making sort of these more high quality, like, because a lot of my videos on my channel were either review based or it was like a high quality challenge video or something like that. And these videos were just sort of like vlogs and stuff like that, so I could put them together quite easily for you guys and release them, and they were kind of nice videos to do, but also something that followed a greater storyline, which is this whole series, which has obviously spanned 7 years. Ooh, okay. But yeah, really saying that there was another particular sort of moment in this which was actually pretty cool. This was, again, pretty recently, but I did a whole cameraman competition video. And this kind of like little series was really, really cool, because I got to fully involve other YouTubers within this channel. Now, I haven't really done any collabs on this channel. I mean, I do collaborate with friends on a semi-regular basis. You know, you've seen a load of friends and people who have reoccurringly popped up on this channel, obviously, you know, so naturally I did add them into this series, and it obviously worked very, very well, but I also added some new people as well. Like, I knew some up-and-coming people who wanted to do YouTube and stuff, so I thought, you know what, why not add them in this little fun segment? And we all talked over it, we agreed on this sort of thing. Obviously, the entire competition was rigged so that Nat would win in the end, but realistically, everybody sort of who was sort of involved got to produce their own content and essentially showcase it on the platform, which is this YouTube channel. So that was, again, a very, very cool thing, and again, I'm very, very grateful to absolutely everybody who actually helped out with that whole segment, because it was not easy to pull off. It was definitely, because I was doing a lot of videos, I was, you know, making films and all that kind of stuff at the same time, so trying to organise an entire fabricated competition was not the easiest of tasks, but we pulled it off in the end. And obviously we got to then, obviously, the whole moving up, you know, the whole house party sort of thing, the bag of money, all that kind of stuff like that, that whole thing, the mafia plot line, which turned into the Brotherhood plot line in the end, because obviously we didn't really think... We wanted to tie it in a little bit with some of the previous stuff. So obviously we had, like, the Brotherhood, which starred in Monotone, our own original series, and the Bruises film, which is, again, two pieces of our own original work, and we wanted to tie in the Brotherhood, which is essentially this gang, into this series as well. So we actually introduced it sort of in there. I'm pretty sure people thought the videos were kind of staged at this point. Like, it's pretty obvious. I wanted to do a little bit more cinematic-y stuff, you know, have some cool little transition fades and all that kind of stuff, and we did a lot of that in the second, well, really the most recent part of this stuff, but I ended up really tying up everything that I could do, and I mean, alongside the views really not pulling on these videos anymore, and the fact that this does feel like a much more natural place to cut off and end this series, I decided to sort of do an ending and cut off this whole series. Now, this isn't the last video on it. It's taken me a good couple of weeks to really think and plan through what I want to do, and I want to share that with you guys in this video. So this is definitely not the last video of this particular series. I want to do one last big video, and the video is going to be coming hopefully pretty soon. So I'm going to be doing an update pretty soon as well, and we've got a big video coming very, very soon, which is going to be the big finale episode, if you will, of The Devil Inside. And I think I do definitely, because of how long this series has spanned and how many videos have like actually kind of popped off from this series, I wanted to end it in a way that was both cool and also really, like, it deserves a good ending, like a proper send-off ending for this series. So I spent the last couple of weeks planning together an ending to this whole sort of chapter, if you call it, series. I don't think that this is going to be the last that we hear of this entire storyline. I may continue it at some point in the future, but for now I don't have any plans on continuing it in the near future, and really I think that this will end with this particular video, and after that I just kind of want to focus all of my time on making more sort of, you know, the high quality challengey content, along with putting a lot more time and effort into my films and other cinematic pieces on this channel as well, which is an area again that I really focused my energy on in the past couple of years, especially starting with like bruises and all that. But nevertheless, you will get one big finale video along with an update, and that will be the end of the Devil Inside series. Now, that does not mean that we have not come prepared, because if you do not recall, a little earlier on in this video, I said I had something up my sleeve. And the thing that I kind of have up my sleeve is I have, like, I'm not even kidding when I say that I have hours and hours and hours and hours of uncut behind the scenes footage of the last couple of years of this entire thing. So, going back a couple of years ago, I decided that I wanted to capture some behind the scenes of how I made a bunch of these videos. And what I've been doing is filling my so basically I filled my entire laptop storage with, well, let's just say, yeah, let's say that probably 70% of the storage is behind the scenes. Like, there's a lot of behind the scenes on my laptop, which is currently behind the camera, by the way. That's why I'm pointing over that way. But yeah, there's currently so much behind the scenes, and I am going to be basically sorting through all the behind the scenes, sorting them into episodes, cutting all of these juicy behind the scenes moments together, and releasing them as behind the scenes episodes of The Devil Inside. So you guys are going to get official behind the scenes episodes of the past few years of creating this series, which is actually pretty cool, I'm not going to lie. Just as we would do behind the scenes for all of my films and stuff like that, I thought it would be a pretty cool idea to create behind the scenes for this kind of content as well, considering it is scripted, staged content. So I thought, why not throw our own behind the scenes series out? And I believe we do have quite a few episodes planned, so these videos will be releasing weekly in the Friday slot, or possibly the Monday slot. I haven't really decided yet, so we may have the Monday upload slot for these videos, or we may have the Friday upload slot. Possibly the Monday upload slot, because I would always upload these vlogs on a Monday, so I reckon we upload the behind the scenes on a Monday, and I mean, that could be a pretty cool shout. So, yeah. So, I've talked about the current state of the series, the big finale, what's coming immediately after the series with this entire behind the scenes, you could call it its own little series really, but yeah, this series of behind the scenes episodes which will be coming out. But what is coming in the future for this channel? So as I said, I'm going to be basically continuing my regular sort of content. So that will be a mix of films, cinematic content, and all the stuff that you've been seeing bar these vlogs and series episodes. I do plan on still doing some vlogs, but I don't plan on doing vlogs anywhere near as regular as I was doing them for this series. You know, usually you'd get like a weekly vlog at this point. Like you get a weekly vlog showing an update and all that kind of stuff. And I did actually add a couple of little updates, like actual genuine channel updates to this series. There is kind of like a little bit of truth in some of the stuff in this series, but you will find that out as well in the behind the scenes. So, what is really coming for the future of this channel? So, yeah, again, all the content that you could sort of expect to see on this channel will continue to go ahead, and as we sort of bring this whole thing to a close, I plan on basically creating a big retrospective video where we sort of go from the start of the entire Devil Inside series to now and sort of look over absolutely everything, showing clips from the videos, maybe even little behind the scenes chunks and stuff like that. I don't really know how I'm going to like format it yet, but it'll be a huge retrospective video, and I think it's going to be pretty cool. But yeah, that's basically the end of this little update video. I'm going to be posting another update very, very soon on this channel. Sort of just, you know, dating maybe when you can expect to see this last, like, finale video, and maybe even a couple more updates that I may have forgotten to put in this video, because obviously, you know, 7 years worth of series, I'm bound to have probably forgotten something. But yeah, that's essentially the end of this whole video. I know it's probably a bit of a long one, and yeah, and I didn't intend it to be super long, but that's kind of what it's going to turn out to be now. But yeah, the Devil Inside series is kind of officially over. Kind of, yeah, so, well, it's basically over at this point. We've just got to film and make this last episode, and then release the behind the scenes, and then the retrospective. So, yeah. But I suppose that ends it for this video, so thank you guys so much for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. As always, peace. I guess we can end with this, because it's kind of ironic. I don't know. See you guys in the next video. Bye.